Whoa, that's not right. Hang on a second. What's going on with that? There we go. Hey, how are you guys? Good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. Welcome back, guys. I have had a wonderful vacation. Had a lot of fun. Did a little bit of straightening up, and I got to tell you something about straightening up. It's like a single thread. You pull a single thread, and everything starts to come unraveled. And I looked here around the studio a year plus after I did a remodel, and I did not like what I saw. So I started straightening things. And in the process of straightening things, I found more stuff I was unhappy with. And so I started to make some changes. Now, one thing you might notice, good evening, George, good evening, Scott, rest is relative. I want my table back. The table that you guys can generally only ever see when we're doing live streams where there's Dwarven Forge happening. I want that table back. And to that end, part of what I did to start getting the table back was get this this wonderful monitor stand. And then I started thinking about how things are set up. Actually, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. What kicked it off was, and I don't know if you guys noticed the light in here is a little bit better looking. I hope so. Oh, I need to do this. And by the way, if you've just subscribed to the show and you're wondering what all this hoo-ha is about, all this hoo-ha is what we do 5 nights a week, for the most part, except when I'm being slack and taking vacation. We talk about classic first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and other classic role-playing games. Orbital Air, we missed you too. Doomsword, don't go anywhere. Stay put. But anyway, so I started looking, after I put the gel in, I started thinking, because putting the gel into, it's a colored filter, by the way. It's not like a Jell-O shot or I had to make something or it's gooey and dripping down. Putting the filter, the natural light filter, in my studio lighting after I found it when I thought I'd lost it, required a huge amount of effort. It literally should have been take the light stand down, open it up, slide the gel in, put the soft filter back on, and put the light stand back up. But it required so much effort, and it depressed me. So I started straightening, because last summer I was so house proud of what I'd gotten done back here, you know? And I started thinking about how I have things set up out here, and I'm not crazy about it. So again, I want my table back, so I got a monitor stand. The monitors are no longer sitting on the table. This gets me back almost a foot of space. It's not the most convenient thing in the world. I have to pick the keyboard up and put it on my lap if I want to type to you guys, and then very carefully move the mouse. So I need a keyboard tray stand. But for the tiny number of you who've been to my studio, you know how space is at a premium in here, and I'm fighting to reclaim space. But I straightened up my shelves, and in doing so, I lost space. But like, I wanted you guys to be able to see Tracy Lush's watercolor. Okay? I wanted good stuff to be seen by people, and it didn't look good anymore in here to me. So I started changing things around. Sharky, greetings. Hello, 1066. So I started changing things around, and there are some changes coming. I wish everything had come together at once, and it would have been like, bam. Hey, everything is different, and everything looks much cooler and more professional. But that's not how that worked out. But it's going to. Things are going to come together, and you're going to see some changes in the studio setup, and I hope you guys like it. Some of it's experimental. We may decide we don't like it and put it right back. I don't know. We'll have to see. The giant crab is remaining. The giant crab is one of the many mascots of the show and will not be leaving. Let's talk about a few very cool things. First of all, if you are new to the channel, if you are one of the dozens of people who have subscribed since Friday when I put up the Gary Gygax interview video, which is now out there on YouTube and you can watch it, welcome. Thank you. And for those of you who've left compliments, thank you also. It was a lot of fun to talk to people about, or rather to get to share my talk with Gary with people. It's really awesome, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Praxis. So anyway, so if you've come over from that, hello and welcome. So yeah, there's going to be some changes happening here in the studio. Do you guys want to be surprised by the changes, or do you want me to tell you now? I can tell you now. It was okay, Lightmane. It was okay. I mean, I did end up putting up videos. I said I would only do a video, like I did a rerun video, the very first episode of the show I ever did back in March of 2020. I had a lot of stuff planned for the year 3 anniversary that just didn't come together because I got so sick after GaryCon. Okay, you guys want surprise. I'm seeing by and large you want surprise. So yeah, after well, your perspective's going to change, Orbital Air, let me say that. So after GaryCon, I didn't get to do the kind of anniversary stuff that I wanted, and slowly recovering from that disease that I got after GaryCon. And then I had to snap into and start thinking about the guac, and I had so much other stuff going on that I didn't get to do a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do. And then the guac was upon us. Now, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention was a big hit. It was a huge success compared to last year. Last year was fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slamming last year. But there's a difference between like a punk show that is literally in someone's garage and in like a small but well-known club venue. And I think that's the difference in overall quality. Good evening, Lux. And to that end, I don't want to miss this. After the convention, someone approached me and said that they spoke for a few other folks at the con, and they were very pleased with how the convention had gone. Exceptionally pleased with how the convention had gone. In fact, they felt that the highlight of the con, because I scheduled a game, nobody played in it, and that's fine. That's fine. So they came to me and said that the highlight for them and the people you're talking about, the highlight of the con for them, the thing that really made the convention for them, was Doomsword's dungeon. You can see him in the chat. If you are on the Discord with us, you know him as Doomsword Deathmaster. He plays in 2 of the stream games, when we do on Tuesday night and when we do on Friday night. But they told me that his AD&D tournament was the highlight of the con for them. And they felt like they wanted to remain anonymous. I am holding their anonymity sacrosanct. But I wanted to, I talked to this person and I said, is it okay if I do this on the air? And they said, yes. For his time, for his effort in making the convention a really special event, they have donated $250 to me via PayPal, which I will be donating to Doomsword. I will be passing that money on to Doomsword, and it is just recompense for the fact that he basically stayed up night and day and night in preparation and then in running the games. So that is for you, Doomsword. I will shoot that to you tonight. I would do it right now, but it's a little awkward to type with the way this is set up because my keyboard is under here and I don't want to fat finger that. So there's that. Someone that I want to acknowledge, and I did acknowledge him, was Father Aaron, the Dungeon Minister. He has a channel here on YouTube, guys. Go subscribe to his channel. You can be subscribed to his channel and my channel at the same time. We got some great swag from Frog God. Did everybody get their Frog God Tavern Guide PDF? I put the link in the Discord. If you didn't get it, let me know. But I also got a couple of gift cards, and the Dungeon Minister, I made sure that the Dungeon Minister got one of those gift cards for his help because he does merch. I don't have my Walk 2 merch left. It's my fault that I don't have my Walk 2 merch yet. But like here, oh, you know what? I can do this. Let's do this. I'll show this to you real quick. You guys can see that. That's from last year's. And these last year's pint glasses are still available, by the by. Oh, it's right in the middle of the screen. That's funny. That's funny. I had wanted it to be kind of off to one side. Let me see if I can. Whoa, wrong one. There we go. There have been some OBS updates. So there you guys can see that. So Dungeon Minister got one of those. Our convention sponsors, Frog God and Hellabard, they had some amazing stuff. Jack Photon, Jack, thank you so much for the incredibly cool art prints. I have not heard of that. LHRPG official. I've heard of SCP. Kind of died for me back in 2018, 2019. I think like the first 2,000 SCPs are gold. And after that, they've just gotten kind of ridiculous because it's like every other one is like, this SCP can turn Earth inside out and make everyone into demons, you know. Okay, all right. You know, it's a Hebrew word meaning end of existence class event. You know, okay. But yeah, I know. So anyway, Frog God, Jack Photon, and Hellabard all did fantastic jobs of providing stuff. Now, Saturday, was it Saturday? No, it was Thursday of the con. We had a drawing where I pulled names out of the hat. Literally, where'd it go? I literally pulled names out of the hat. And I selected people to receive art prints from Jack Photon. As I said, there's more stuff. We got some stuff from Hellabard Games that didn't come until after the con, but I promised you guys you'd get this. Now, I have reached out to everyone I drew for on Thursday night. Everyone on Thursday night, I did a drawing for all of the stuff on Thursday night. If your name didn't get called, you could be in tonight's drawing, because guess what? That's this. That's this. But I sent out emails to everyone because I have your email addresses. I will keep sending out emails periodically until the next walk. If I don't hear from people, if they just like saw it on Warhorn, signed up, and then just pissed off, you know, that is what it is. So let's begin the drawing. Now, one of the prizes, many of the prizes from Hellabard Games are print copies of Temple of the Sun. SAA1. It's a module that I wrote that was originally set in the world of Greyhawk. There's a PDF of it kicking around on the web of the World of Greyhawk version. Obviously, to sell copies of it, Hellabard had to change it from World of Greyhawk and make a few alterations here and there to make it work. I have, I think, a dozen copies here. I'm not going to hold up every one. I will show you guys one time when we get to those. There is other cool stuff in this stack too. There's other cool stuff in this stack. And there's a did I pick those up? Please tell me I picked those up. I don't think I picked those up. Or if I did, they fell down again. Gosh darn it. Well, I have a couple of things that I've added to this pile also. So, are you guys ready for the drawing? Are you guys ready to see if you won something? And the names come out, so there's nobody that's got like, oh, I got drawn 3 times. Dungeoneer, if you were at the Great Underground Online Gaming Con and you signed up through Warhorn, your name's in the hat. All right. Well, I don't hear any chatter out there, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start the drawing here. So, you know what? I'm going to move the Temple of the Sun stuff out of the way. I'd like it to make stuff's falling everywhere. I'd like to make this a little more exciting. Excuse me. You know what? I'll just reach in the stack and grab things. And in fact, Gravity chose the first name. The first name is Trent O'Neill. Trent O'Neill receives a copy of SAA1 Temple of the Sun. Congratulations, Trent. Congratulations. In fact, Trent gets a print-on-demand copy. Now, 2 of these modules are print-on-demand copies, which is something you can just go online and get, right? You can just go buy yourself your own print-on-demand copy. I also received in the swag stuff 2 old-school style removable map folders. So the print-on-demand copy, which Trent won the first one, Trent O'Neill won the first one, will get removable old-school style map covers. So congrats to you, Trent. So there you go. And every copy will get the pre-gen character cards, which are really cool. Christopher Sims, good to see you. Because I think I have enough sets of pre-gen character cards. Let us go on, like I blister in the sun, let us go on to the next item of swag. And I see what it's going to be. So I don't want to look. I glanced in. It's like the Ark of the Covenant in the hat. So the next one is Kevin Reynolds. Kevin Reynolds. Kevin, you get a copy of AT1, The Village of Ensington. A nice print copy of The Village of Ensington. Congratulations, Kevin. Kevin, of course, plays in the Tuesday and Friday night adventure games we run right here on the show. Congratulations, Kevin Reynolds. All right, what do we got next? I dropped the hat. What do we have next? Doodling down in here. 4. Ian D. Ian D. Ian, for you, my friend, trying not to knock stuff off my table and it's trying to jump off. Ian receives One Night Adventures, The Forsaken Pyramid. I know the author on this one. This is a pretty good adventure module. Very old school. It's for Castles and Crusades, which means it'll work like it'll work like no problem in any classic RPG system. Dungeon Delvers, why you seize the imposter. Welcome. So was that the first time you guys, for many of you, that you had heard Gary's voice there? Not on Futurama. Okay. Quick save F5. Quick save F5. You, my friend, you receive. Oh, I love this one just because it's got great cover art in the back. This is Death at the Oasis. Adventure module, Death at the Oasis. This is a one-night adventure, also written by Don. I love the back cover art. What is my favorite pre-written D&D adventure that doesn't simply play out to be explore dungeon and kill things? That's a good question. That is a good question. Probably A3, Assault on the Eyrie of the Slave Lords by Alan Hammock. And the reason is there is an entire town to explore. Yes, there is a dungeon feature. Yes, the module ends in a massive throwdown with the slave lords. But There is a whole town that you can explore. And if you're not doing it in tournament mode, by the way, thank you for the super. Thank you so much for the super. If you're not playing it in tournament mode, the town is kind of your oyster. There are very, very, very few classic AD&D modules that have an urban exploration feature to them. I mean, how many town maps do we get? Hamlet against the Cult of the Reptile God, Slave Lords, and Keep on the Borderlands. And otherwise, that's it. We don't even get a good map of Nulb. All right. I hope that answers your question. Okay, next up, the next item is another one with great cover art. It is for Bone Hill. That's right, Bone Hill. Bone Hill. Thank you, guys. Silfar. Silfar is to receive... Silfar is to receive a copy of The Road to Raiders Point. More lovely cover art on The Road to Raiders Point. Again, that one by Don McVitie. Congratulations, Silfar. Okay, let's do a few copies of Temple of the Sun. A copy of Temple of the Sun goes to Makisa Swam. Makiswa Swam. Mac is awesome. Mac is awesome. Mac is awesome. Right there. If you guys can see that, if that is coming into focus. So Mac is awesome, and Mac gets an awesome module. Congratulations to you, Mac. We'll just put that right in there. All right. Who gets the next copy? We'll have to see. I'm going to set that around there. It's probably going to leave a ring on my table. Makisa Swamp. Dungeon Delvers, this is, we are wrapping up the drawing for folks who were at the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. If you registered through Warhorn, the con was last week. If you registered through Warhorn, then I have your name in here, and you are registered. All right, and this is, hey, James Keck. James, your copy of Temple of the Sun is on the way, my sir. James Keck. James ran some great games, I'm told. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Don't worry. I've been told that folks want another Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. I'm on the bubble as to whether or not I'll run one again, but we'll have to see. Look, guys, I have some other stuff here that fell on the floor. I am sad to say, and I want to offer this. So let me see. There it is. There it is. Fire! They fell right down here. So we're just going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to mix it up. So our next drawing, Dungeon Delvers, absolutely. In October. No. Too soon. Sorry. Next spring. Next summer. Okay, so I got some slightly off prints. Of these bad boys when I did these. And if that looks a little familiar to you, and the bottoms were not exactly perfect. They weren't up to the standard that I wanted them to be, but they're still perfectly fine. A little bit of glue, a little bit of putty on the bottom, and some paint work, and you've got your own great green devil face. You've got your own great green devil face that you can stick in your own Tomb of Horrors, scare your players with it just by putting it in your dungeon, set it on your desk, attach a pin to it and wear it around and make people wonder what kind of Star Trek lunatic you are. That's right, Orbital Air, a Tomb of Horrors disintegration portal. So I have 2 misprints of this. There's nothing wrong with faces. It's all along the bottom edge of the wall. And I will not paint these. But I will draw for them. And I will draw for the first one right now. And so, the first great green devil face winner is Jorge Uribe. Jorge, congratulations, my friend. Right here, my dude. All right, Jorge has got himself a Tomb of Horrors disintegration portal. All right, next. We're going to pull another module, I think, now. And this goes for Alan Canning. Alan gets the other copy of Road to Raidersport. Again, amazing artwork by Laurie McVitie. The modules by Don McVitie. And by the way, I know some of you won last week. Your stuff's going to start going out this week, if I didn't mention that. Your stuff. So if you're sitting there and you responded to me and you're like, when am I going to get my stuff? I have access to the car for the rest of the week. You have no excuse to not get it from me, not get it shipped from me. All right. Caspar is the next Temple of the Sun winner. Oh, I do have some more. Okay. There is one more non-Temple of the Sun module. So Caspar gets a module. Now, I think there's one more. Let me double check. I think there's one more Temple of the Sun with a slipcover map extra. Or have I given both of those away? I have not given those away yet. So the next Temple of the Sun we do will be a slipcover copy. But until then, and another module here. Kevin Wheeler gets a copy of the Village of Ensington. The Village of Ensington for Kevin Wheeler. By the way, anyone who wants a signed copy of Temple of the Sun, I'll ask the Temple of the Sun winners. If you guys want that autographed, I will be more than happy to sign that for you. I think that's all the non-Temple of the Sun modules. It is. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more prizes, guys. 9 more prizes. Let's see if that's right. All right. A Temple of the Sun goes to the K5K. The K5K, Temple of the Sun. I really should put those names in different places than I'm doing. Anyway. All right. A Temple of the Sun goes to Clark Whitten. Clark Whitten gets a copy of Temple of the Sun. I'll put these in the front. They're held a little bit better. All right. A Temple of the Sun goes to Todd Vanderbeek. We see Todd around here sometimes. Congrats to you, Todd. Bon appetit. All right. Let's take a Temple of the Sun break for our next Great Devil Face. Our next Great Devil Face. This will go to Jay Rossington. Jay Rossington gets to stick his polearm into the Great Devil Face. Congratulations, Jay Rossington. I really hope most of you guys live in the States. Postage is such a killer. All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 Temple of the Suns remaining, and then we have one other item. One other item donated by Hellabard Games, which I think you guys are going to love. 4 of these. We have Robert Phillips gets a Temple of the Sun. Robert Phillips, Temple of the Sun. Congratulations, Robert. Stuff is all threatening to slide off. The next Temple of the Sun module goes to... Ooh, that's an unfeeling piece of paper. The next Temple of the Sun module goes to Tracy P. Tracy P. Congratulations. you get a copy of Temple of the Sun, the character practicals, and I should point out the monster rosters. That's right. They also come with monster rosters. So much cool stuff. All right, two more, and then we get to a big finale. I know why that didn't work. I came over to the wrong studio view. Daniel Vandever or Vandever. I'm not sure which. Daniel. Damn it, Daniel. It's an old meme. That's like a 2015, 2016 meme. Daniel, enjoy your copy of Temple of the Sun. I will be emailing you about the shipping information. And again, guys, I will get these shipped as fast as I can because postage. Okay, one more Temple of the Sun, and then we have the. It is a grand prize, but just by dint of being on the bottom of everything, it's the final prize. I might have let off with it, but I didn't. All right, so the last Temple of the Sun, and I mix these up. I'm not like going down a line. These are getting stirred up every time, so you have an equal chance. All right. Let's see now. Rusty Schaefer. Volcano God, as you may know him round these parts. Volcano God. Is this just what you wanted, right? More RPG stuff? I'm literally surrounded by most of his RPG collection that he didn't want to haul up to Chicago with him. So I may end up eating this one. So Rusty gets a copy of Temple of the Sun. Congratulations, Rusty. Now, before this stuff dumps itself out, I want to say that everyone's odds of getting stuff at the Guac were all exactly the same. I pulled your names out of a hat, quite literally. Everyone who participated, everyone who ran a game, who played in a game, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Look, if you signed up with the intent of being there and something came up and you couldn't, as it happened with a couple of people, I had a couple of people reach out to me and they were like, "Oh my God, Bill, I feel terrible." I'm like, calm down. It's real life. But I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Clearly, I'm going to have to get a box to put these in there. Not going to stay stacked up. And so now we come to the final item. It is not new. If you were looking for something new and shiny, something you might not have already had one of, well, I'm just afraid I'll have to disappoint you. That's just how it goes sometimes. So with that said, let us draw the final name, and then I will show you guys the final prize. The grand prize winner, a bunch in a ball there. The grand prize winner not grand prize, all the prizes are grand. The final prize winner. And the final prize being an orange spine copy of the Player's Handbook donated by Hellabard Games. There it is, the orange spine. goes to Adam Black. Adam, congratulations, my friend. I will reach out to you via email, and we will make shipping arrangements. So there you have it. There you have it, guys. The last of the guac drawings. Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much. Bob says, thank you for all the contributions and donors to Guac 2, and here's to next year. Absolutely. Absolutely. I kid about it, but yeah, of course we're going to do it next year. Of course we're going to do it next year. And it will be completely awesome. And you guys will enjoy it. We will absolutely, positively, unquestionably enjoy it. And I think this calls, let me see if I can do this. It's a new setup is what it is. It's a new setup. By the way, did you know we're at 4,658 subscribers on the channel? Thank you all so very much. The Gary Gygax interview video has garnered 1.7 thousand views. Actually, the metrics on that are a little wonky. It could be as many as 2,000. YouTube just, its own internal metrics, like they need a timing chain badly. All right, they need a couple more degrees of timing because, good Lord. If I can get this to work. All right, let's see. And that one we're going to bring out to here. And we're going to see if this will work. Did it work? There! Hey! Dragons and Flagons, good to see you. Hello. Kevin says, what version of OD&D is that behind me? Good of you to ask, Kevin. Good of you to ask. That version of OD&D is a bespoke OD&D multi-print that someone did at Lulu. It is my travel copy of original D&D. Let's put that up on Still Store. And you are correct. It is all 3 books in a single volume. While it would annoy me if it got lost, it would not destroy me like if I lost one of my actual OD&D books. You guys can see, well, you can't see it because the webcam window's in the way, but I have my OCE box up yonder, which I had hoped would be a little bit more in shot than it ended up being. And I have the supplements 1, 2, 3, and 4. Similarly bound. I used to have 5 or 6 of these, and I gave them away over the years. I gave one to a kid at an event, and I thought he was going to wet himself. Oh, look at this. I have a, no, I'm keeping that. There's a reason I'm keeping that. That's right. I set that aside on purpose. But anyway, yeah, those are my travel copies. Those are my play copies. I do not take the OCE or the autographed individual books. The books, they're autographed by Dave and Gary and Rob Kuntz and Jim Ward and Tim Kask, where appropriate. I don't have Jeff Perrin's autograph, unfortunately, on my copy of Chainmail. I have Gary's autograph on my copy of Chainmail, but not Jeff Perrin's. And that's something I wish I could remedy. So, and again, I thank everyone for participating in the convention this year. Of course, we'll do one next year. And of course, if this channel ever hits 10,000 subscribers, we'll probably do an in real life gaming convention. We'll probably do that for realsies and have a, why do I look weird? My aspect ratio messed up there. Are those available for purchase anywhere? George, I wish they were. Your best bet is to buy the PDFs from Drive-Thru RPG and send that through, combine them into a single PDF document and send it through Lulu or Printivity. You know, just order yourself 5 or 6. They'd cost about $2 to $10 each. And then you'd have a few. And you could do the same thing. I have a hardback set that I had completely forgotten about also. That's lurking. Is it over here somewhere? Yes, there it is. As things go flying. Like they do. I haven't even been drinking tonight. But I have these. These were done by the same person. I only ever got these. They're kind of meh. They're just navy blue, and one says OD&D hardback, Gary. You know, there's a supplement hardcover, Gary. Yes, whoever had these bound up printed Gary on the spine. But they're literally just the supplements in hardback. But you could look erudite on public transportation or in a park reading these. I'm not going to attempt to shove those back onto the shelf right now. So I'm setting them on the prize table for safekeeping. They're not prizes. So, there is something I want to mention. And by dint of mentioning this on the air, I have no alternative but to actually make sure that I get this done. This week, also being mailed out, in addition to all of this stuff, the fine people at Paint Minis Live are still waiting on my dragon, which is boxed up, and I will be taking it Wednesday, because tomorrow, of course, is Independence Day and the post office is closed. But it's packaged up, it's ready to go to them, and will go to them on Wednesday. Additionally, Yes Mar, you guys might know him from around the Discord. When I did the Tom Wham Beholder prints, which, do I have one of those handy? Yes, I do. When I did the Tom Wham Beholder prints and sold these last year. Hey, Ricky. Good to be back. He purchased some from me, as many of you did. And his were apparently greatly mishandled by the post office. And they arrived in pieces. And bless him, he tried so hard to repair them, to fit them back together, to no avail. And I had told him repeatedly, yes, I will absolutely send you replacements. And I have not gotten around to it. I have a small batch of them printed up again. And I am absolutely positively 100% going to send him a replacement beholder set. So, Yesmar, my friend, I promise you it is coming your way. It is coming your way this week. It'll be wrapped up. It will be shipped out, and I will send you a tracking number. George says, I got to get my 3D printer up and running. Yeah, I know. I meant to get with Doomsword this past weekend, and of course now we're into a new week. He's got work to do. I'm sure, he doesn't want to babysit me and hold my hand, but we've got I've got a 9x5 or 9x6 resin printer now that I need to get set up and dialed in so I can start working on some projects. But I've been dragging my feet. Leaving money on the table, quite literally. What else did I do? Oh, I worked today. In addition to doing this stuff here, I worked on, yes, leave those tabs, please. In addition to this, I got 20 pages of the Tomb of the Dundle Chief module conversion to AD&D for Heidi Gygax and Eric Garland. I got that started and got a third of it done today. My hope is to finish it tomorrow because I won't be able to go to the post office. So I'm having a little bit of a cook-in tomorrow. Gonna make some hamburgers and hot dogs and that sort of thing inside. I don't at me. I don't have a grill. I should get a small one. I should get a small grill. But that's a thing that's fixing to happen. It's been to happen. So hopefully I can knock that out tomorrow and get that to those good people and then start on the original D&D conversion of the next module. And get some 3D printing done, get some stuff done that I was way too long on the vine for Yang. What else? Stuff for Yangs. Oh, yeah, the manuscript I'm working on with Tracy Lesh, which is going to be a huge thing. Speaking of Tracy, we got merch coming. We got Tracy Lesh drawn merch. Not Tracy's merch, which is awesome. But merch for the show, art by Lesh. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see the first or next, whatever, designs from him to show you guys. Because it's going to be t-shirts, it's going to be mugs, and it's not the only piece of merch either. No, it's not. It's not. Don't think you're getting away that easily. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming. Like I said, some changes around the studio. One thing that I was looking at, and maybe somebody out there can lend me a little bit of insight on this, but one thing I was looking at that I was wanting to do was having, instead of a chair where I feel like I'm sitting, especially now with the monitor stands. They're a little off. I'll have to adjust those. I feel like I'm in a bunker, right? I feel like I'm in a bunker, and I want to get a drafting stool. And they make comfortable ones that like you're supposed to be able to sit in as long as you sit in an office chair. So I went on eBay and I started looking at eBay. I went on Amazon and I started looking around. These are really affordable. And look, let's a throne, yeah. Let's just cut to the chase. I'm fat. Okay? I'm fat. I exceed the minimum weight or the maximum weight for some furnitures. And when I got to looking at a few of these things, they were like this. And then I saw one that was rated above my weight, considerably above my weight. And I was like, there we go. Now, The way to shop on Amazon, if you're buying anything, is look at the 1-star reviews. First of all, look at the ratio of 1-star reviews. Anything in a double-digit percentage, 10, 11, 12, and on, is automatically suspect. But look at what those are. You know, if somebody says, yeah, I ordered this, this Rip Jaws memory and it came and the package was broken, 1 star, the package was crushed and the memory was broken, 1 star. That's not, no, no. Your 1-star reviews is meaningless and dumb. Yeah, those knee chairs, they might be healthy for your back, but they're murder on your hips and your knees. But I wanted to, I really wanted to take it in. So to go back to the memory kit example, if you look and it's 12% negative reviews, 1-star reviews, and the reviews are all, system completely unstable, crashed constantly, pulled dim out, super hot, vendor incredibly unresponsive, damaged my motherboard. Yeah, no, avoid. So I start looking at the chairs, and one of the chairs I looked at that was above my current weight, a fellow said, I weigh 180 pounds, and this thing's shock failed like almost immediately. Like I set the thing up, I put it together, and I could slowly feel myself sinking. And so, yeah, you get what you pay for. So I go looking online. I'm like, okay, let's forget Amazon. Because let's say Amazon is Kmart, right? Yeah, you could get some good stuff at Kmart. Sure, you could get good stuff at Kmart. But Kmart sold a lot of crap. So I go looking at actual office furniture supply places. And boy, howdy, are there some nice drafting stools out there. Nice high mesh back like this, but, 36-inch stand, metal footrest around it, just perfect. It would look fantastic. I wouldn't be sitting in a hole anymore. I could point the camera up a little. It would be so neat. $500. And this is cloth and nylon. This is not like, oh yeah, the leather executive chair, but on a drafting stand. No. Yeah, you go to Uline or somebody like that, and drafting stools are, yeah. I mean, you get what you pay for. Ultimately, you get what you pay for. This is an okay chair I've got. It's just, I want this to be like 8 to 10 inches taller. I want to be like sitting up like Mike Douglas with you guys, okay? And it's part of the whole new view for the studio. Hey, John Stewart Keller. That is good news. That is awesome news, John. So I've got to look around for that, and when I make my adjustments to how the studio is going to look, I'm going to look a little weird once I get all the elements in. One of the things I will spoil for you guys, and you can't see it, but if you were on the show, or if you followed the show back in 2020, 2021, and even like halfway through 2022, that this wall that I am pointing at over here was kind of to the, I mean, it's still to the right of me, but that was like the right side of the set because there's a shelf on it, and there was always stuff piled up there. That wall is just bare. There's a bunch of stuff stacked against it, but there's nothing on the wall now. I want to get another bookshelf like this and put it there and get all this crap that has accumulated off the floor onto the bookshelf. So that's a thing that's going to happen. That's one of the reasons why I was comfortable doing this. This looks cool. It looks much cooler than it looks. What do you guys think here? So I got my Space Marines, and I've got my Gene Stealers and Space Marines, Blood Royale. I've got the Joe Goodman D&D books here, some D&D box sets. Looks pretty cool, yeah? It's not optimal for storage. The 4E Space Hulk set or the 3E Space Hulk set is behind the 2E Space Hulk set, which I may rotate these guys around periodically. But for storage purposes, this is terrible. And because it's terrible, like there's books that were on this bookshelf that are now piled down here around my feet. And I'm gonna get that next bookshelf to put over there. But I want you guys to be able to see it too. And that's all I'm going to say about that for right now. But the chair is kind of key. And again, hello, Sean Rader. Again, I need and I'm not talking about to replace this chair. Like when I sit over there at the studio PC, gaming PC, internet communicating PC, it's for like this chair that I'm in. It's an office chair, right? And it's something that I'm completely okay with having two chairs in here now. So I was thinking about this and I was despairing a little bit today. Even when I get everything off of the table, and that there's something else I was going to talk about too, with getting stuff off the table, which again, maybe you guys can suggest, recommend. I'm never going to have a face-to-face group again, I don't think. I have Friday night Gamma World. I have Tuesday night AD&D. And I have my Monday night AD&D, in which I'm going to in a few minutes. But I'm never going to have a bunch of friends over here again to play D&D with around the table. And that's a shame. I'm not one of those people that has a fit over quote-unquote fake D&D. I see people on D&D social media who, I'm like, oh, hey, you should check out my Monday night D&D game. Oh, cool. Are you in this area? I'm like, no, but it's cool because none of my players are either, because we all play on the internet. And they're like, I could never play Dungeons and Dragons on the internet. That's just like a video game. You might as well be playing World of Warcraft. I'm like, no, not really. I don't do VTT stuff. I don't, except for the show, for the visual effect. I don't do online dice rollers and that sort of thing. So, pardon me, but no, it's fucking not like a video game. But with that said, for you guys, for your sake, I want to have more of a visual element in the games. I have cameras, I have tripods, I've got lighting and stuff like that. And so to that end, I'm going to start bringing out the Dwarven Forge. The problem is all of this stuff takes up space in my office. The monitors until today were sitting on the table. They've gone from taking up like a sixth of the space of the table to next to none of it. All right. There's like a little 6x6 footprint of this monitor stand now bolted on the side, and I can now have this space back. The other thing that I want is some kind of clamp to put my studio lights onto the table. I like where they are up high, but the tripods have an enormous footprint, and it breaks verisimilitude to have them just kind of to try and build Dwarven Forge and stuff around them. So, if there's some kind of clamp solution that I can get to clamp them onto the side of the table, again, to reduce their footprint. Now, I did see some lights, some clamp-on light stands on Amazon today, but they're short. Like the tallest of them was like 30 inches tall. That would put the lights like right in my face. I would talk about deer in headlights. Just the fact that I found the outside light gel does not mean that I wouldn't be, like constantly. I want them kind of, shining down. So I'll have to figure out a solution for that, and then I can bring the table back around, and you guys can enjoy something a little bit more visually stimulating than my handsome face and a bunch of icons down the side of the screen. That's something I'm fighting for. Why not have people over? I don't have a 1E group here in the Orlando area anymore, Ricky. I had a few good groups over a few years, but I love my friends that I game with online. I wish they were all here in Central Florida, because if I had to go get them and bring them here and take them home, I would do that. It just, when I game in person, it's usually because I pick my stuff up and I go out to Gods and Monsters out on the southwest end of town. But that's kind of an all day, Jack71 says, you can arrange a studio as you, but it takes some real pain in the rear work, my friend. Yes, it does. But I'm working on it. I'm getting it done. I'm getting it done. I can't hang from the ceiling. I have a ceiling fan up there that I'm going to be putting into use soon. I'm going to be putting that into service soon, because we've entered the dog days of summer here in Florida. But yeah, the hostility that people have to gaming. No, it's not a video game. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Tim Kask got his gig at TSR, but he started as, guess what? A remote player. He called Gary long distance and played D&D over the phone. Don't get in Tim Kask grill and tell him he's not old school. I appreciate it, Jack. I really do. And I want to close on a negative positive note, or a positive negative note, or whatever you do. If you're not on the Discord, and it's fine if you're not on the Discord. But I was mentioning this the other day, so you might have missed me talking about this, but it's okay again. I invited someone on the show. So I honestly think you guys would have really enjoyed talking to this person, many of you. But I sent out an invite on early Saturday afternoon. Didn't expect to hear back from them. A lot of people are very much like, 5 o'clock Friday, computer gets shut off. Not doing things on my phone unless it's making a call, And I get that and I respect that. A lot of games were played by mail. Alan Canning, you won something. Hi. Hello, Alan. You won a prize. I'll have to go back and look, but you won an adventure module, I believe, in the drawing. Look for an email from me, Alan. Yes, there was a lot of PBEM or PBM games back in the day. But anyway, to move on. Thank you, Alan. Neighbors are starting to fire off mortars. But fireworks, mortars. Where was I? Oh, yes. Remote gaming guest. So I sent out the email. And within a couple of hours, I heard back from this person. And they said, oh, good Lord, no. I'm very camera shy. Someone wanted to put me in a documentary. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't be filmed. And I absolutely couldn't do it live. And let me just say this. I have incredible respect for that. This person didn't hem and haw. This person didn't wait 6 months to get back to me. This person didn't say, oh, yeah, no, that sounds cool, and then cancel on me. Or say maybe in a couple of months and then come back and give me the silent treatment. You know, I've talked to them on social media. They didn't come back and ghost me for daring to speak to them. I asked. They politely declined. And that's fantastic. It's awesome. I appreciate it. It was a breath of fresh air to hear somebody politely decline. What a strange world we live in. That was a high point of the day. I was like, oh shoot, that would have been cool. And I respect the person's privacy, so I'm not gonna get into who it was, because I don't want enthusiastic people to go and be like, you should be on Bill's show. So I'm not gonna do that. But it was actually kind of cool. But that just about wraps it up for tonight. Now I'm going to have to talk to my Tuesday night AD&D group, because if you're new to the show, and I think Dragons and Flagons, I think you're strange around these parts, ain't you? But some of you folks might be new to hanging out. Tuesday nights we live stream first edition AD&D. And we've got a pretty good group. We've got a pretty good campaign. Tomorrow is the celebration of this great nation's independence. And I know many folks right around the time we get started would be wanting to watch the fireworks from the Capitol, from New York, or maybe just go out and sit in their backyard and zing off some low-grade explosives and flash powder and base metals themselves, if that's what they wish to do. So we'll have to see what kind of a crowd we've got. And I'll let you guys know as we approach. We may get an extra day off. We'll see how it works out. But listen, until then, thank you all for stopping by. Dragons and Flagons, thank you very much. Bob Jester, just stepping in, just as I'm stepping out. Have the Switch operator be the DM. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Thanks again to everyone who was kind enough to stop by the convention. People who planned to stop by the convention but were scuppered and couldn't make it. Thank you to Hellabard Games, who is a sponsor of this show, by the way. They make great old school stuff, whether it's for Castles and Crusades, 5th edition, or the OSR. They've got you covered for old school because they make the kind of adventures they like to play. Check them out on their website, hellabardgames.com. There's a link down below. No reason to not miss it. Or Drive Through RPG if you want that convenience, that one-stop shop convenience. But regardless, and again, Thanks to all of you guys. We'll be back. We'll see what's going on tomorrow. We'll definitely be back Wednesday. Don't know if Kyle will be here, but we will be. Thursday, who knows what trouble we're going to get into on Thursday. Friday night, we'll have a little preamble ramble, and then we're going to play some classic Gamma World. Back to the happiest place on Gamma Earth. Happy 4th to you too, Jack. But until then, guys, bring your pets in with all the fireworks going to be going off today and tomorrow. And please keep your eyes peeled for the owl bears.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.